Okay. All right, go ahead, Africa. We'll let Africa go, then you, Sierra. Go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, you might be right about forced unity, but are you saying that because of Africans in America, that is why Black America is not getting the respect they deserve in America? And are you telling me that it's because of Africans, that's why there's still a systemic racism in America? And are you telling me that after the delineation gonna happen, all of a sudden America and Black America will be able to get the respect? Because I'm for the respect if Black America can get it after the delineation. And I want to confirm, what did Africans do or what they did to be disrespecting Black America in America along with that?
So, African communities, I don't know why so many Black immigrants have this talking point that it's only Africans that we're referring to in the harm that Black Americans face. African communities aren't the only community. Black Americans are fighting basically every immigrant community. And the reality is that delineation is natural. As long as it is done respectfully, it is natural. People have to delineate to maintain their space, to maintain their resources, to maintain their identity, right? So African Americans have just as much right as any other ethnic group to have clear lines and boundaries between themselves and every other immigrant community. And the idea of pan-Africanism is harmful to that. It has already harmed us. We've had that ideal in our communities instilled, probably not purposefully hurtful by many of our leaders, but it has harmed us. And we see that now. So we have to move away from that.
Okay, Sierra.
Okay, I don't see no harm in the Pan-Africanism ideals. Listen to carefully what you said, Threads, and what you were talking about is in the last few decades of these groups that may have come in espousing white tea supremacy views. Again, Andrew Hacker, the political scientist, I believe he was, he talked about the handpicking of certain black leadership classes. And it's my suspicion that it's some of these immigrant groups that's coming here in the fast few decades were handpicked, and they are nothing more than white supremacists and black skin. So of course they were going to go along to get along. And these are the ones that's propped up to create a lot of division. I, for one, am a Pan-Africanist. I believe in it. I believe in the unity of black people here and abroad. That's the way I see it, and that's the way I'm going to roll. Just like everybody else is uniting, I think we should. Now, unity does not mean uniformity. We don't all have to look alike, talk alike, act alike, walk alike, even taste the same foods. But unity is something totally different, and that's what I believe in.
So everybody else is not uniting. That's not true. If you look at global politics, you will see that most communities are not uniting. It's not working. West Indian people and African people have been immigrating to the US for decades. They have not united. I am literally bi-ethnic. I have grown up hearing them say, I am not a Black American. Do not get it twisted and don't confuse me with them. They have not been uniting. The idea that you're uniting with them is delusional. It is a pipe dream. It's not real. I love unity. I love peace. I love good things and good relationships. But this ideal that you all have is not going to happen. They've been telling you it's not, it's never going to happen. So there is no such thing as, and we're not African. No one forces Jamaicans to call themselves African Jamaican. You've never heard it, and you never will. No one says African Trinidadian or African Haitian. Black American people are not Africans. We don't have cultural proximity to them. We live in our own land. We have our own culture. These people tell us we have no culture. We don't know how to speak English. They HATE our food. There's so much that they despise about us. There is no such thing as Pan-Africanism.
All right, thanks, Threads. Africa reality. Can you address the prompt?
Yes, ma'am.
Pan-Africanism versus delineation. I kind of agree with her that the unity is a fallacy. I don't think it's possible also. But I think what I think is possible is if we can be able to put our differences aside and tackle the real issue we have at hand, which everybody know. And again, how is Black Americans? Hopefully, they can be able to get the system to support more Black Americans in America, and hopefully Africans also able to put African first and demand what their resources in Africa, because we can look at it as much as we want. We can have a discussion all day. There is still a common enemy that is affecting both Africans and Black Americans at the same time, which I feel like we're not able to tackle it because of a lack of awareness on both ends. Because if you look at it at some extent, Black Americans don't know the positive of Africans, whereas the same things Africans don't know the positivity and the contribution of Black Americans in America, which it comes down to lack of self-awareness for Black Americans and lack of awareness in Africans also. Along with that.
Okay, thank you, African Reality. Anybody have a rebuttal for African Reality? No? Okay,
I
hey,
didn't even understand what he said.
that's what's up. Hey, Supreme. Supreme.
Can
Hey.
y'all
Yep,
can
I
you hear
can
me?
hear you. Yep, you want to address the prompt?
Okay.
Oh, oh, we can't hear you. Huh? Your phone breaking up bad too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, we gotta come back up. You gotta go down. Sierra, hey, you want to address the prompt?
I sure shall. So pan-Africanism versus delineation. Two visions, one future. Okay, the only future I see, and I'm gonna try to move very quickly. Again, it's a book that I put down. It's called A Higher Form of Unaliving. And in that book, the United States, I think it was in 1969, they were talking about as they grow in their understanding of chemical and molecular biology, they can create an agent that does not exist naturally. Therefore, no natural immunity will have a defense against it. We think we got all the time in the world to keep playing these games, while our enemy is totally advancing and making more advancements in his ability to wage conflict on us, while we constantly waging conflict on each other with this foolishness. Now, I like to go back to the inception of this. That's why I mentioned when Threads was talking about in the past few decades. Well, in the past few decades, a lot has happened. You know, movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, New Jack City, these went around the world. These were representing the image of Black people. So it's a new generation that don't know anything about Malcolm X, Kwame Nkrumah, other Pan-Africanists, Marcus Garvey. They don't know anything. I mean, you can quiz them on something and they probably, I mean, just the basic stuff they don't know. So they're looking at things through the lens of what this enemy has done in the past few decades, which is sever that nervous system that connected all Black people together. It was very much present, even when Mussolini, I believe it was, or probably prior to him, was attacking Ethiopia, and a lot of Black people from the United States signed up to fight on the side of Ethiopia. What has happened to us? Well, we acting straight goofy in the face of a well-trained, open enemy. And we acting like enemies towards each other. You know what? We're about to get what we deserve with our foolishness. We're about to get what the hell we deserve. I'm not Black. I'm Black. Whatever the white man name my country, that's what the hell I am. Fool. Somebody talking about the West Indies. Christopher Columbus wasn't in the West Indies. He thought he was.
Thank you, Sierra. Anybody have a rebuttal for Sierra?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, go
Yeah,
ahead, sis.
you too, Supreme. Okay, America then Supreme. Go ahead, America.
Okay. Why is your name Sierra?
Say Ra.
Nah. Okay. Give America back to the Indians. If you stay getting money, get that Benjamin. Yeah, I stayed with the sweets. I got that cinnamon. Sprinkle it on my tongue like the middleman. That middleman shit was freaky, but I just didn't know what to rhyme it with. But it's America first over everything for me. I don't care. I put Black Americans should be put over everybody. I love America. I love the South. I love Southern food. I love goddamn living on a lake with my feet kicked up. I love talking to the birds. I love going on TikTok and seeing the whole world fucking mad at Donald Trump for no reason. I just love it here. I love fucking America. So with that being said, we not African. That's just like saying we from Australia or Antarctica or Europe. It's just another continent amongst the others. It will always be. And that's how I'm gonna always look at it. So can y'all stop trying to like make yourselves a topic? Cause like we could always start an Antarctica live. Nigga.
All right, thank you, America. Sierra, final say.
I will try to respond to it, but it was so discombobulated. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to weave through that tapestry of foolishness. With that being said, we are Africans in America. Of course, we went through what they would call an ethnogenesis and we created our own little culture and all this type of stuff. That's fine. But I'm a firm believer that the sum of the whole is greater than its parts. And basically what that means is if you have lungs that don't operate and do the same thing that the heart do. You have a heart that does not do the same thing that the spleen does. But they all look different and they function different, but they maintain the whole, which is the body. And that's how I look at black people, and that's how your enemy looks at you. It's one big N word.
I look
And
at
is
my
it, hold
people.
on, can I finish?
I look at my people
Can
as
host, can you reset my time? Because I
Oh,
got
oh
Lord.
children
shit. My bad.
that
I
I
didn't
have
even
children
see the
that
timer.
just
Go ahead, Sierra.
so just like when Ronald Reagan, and Richard Nixon were talking in the White House, and they were talking about black people in general. They made no distinction the way we make distinctions amongst ourselves, you know, which is, I'm grateful for white T supremacy for that one big thing. They look at you as just being one big N word and they deal with you like that.
No, they don't.
Oh,
The fuck.
All right, thank you,
okay.
American. Have a
Okay, I
good
want a
day.
rebuttal.
No,
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 you
that's
can't rebuttal.
okay.
I'm rebuttaling what you said. But anyway, host, I'll be quiet because I know somebody wanted to say something, on what I said.
Yeah. So, I mean, a person that's sitting here in America that's rooting for Pan Africanism is really like, are you really thinking? Like, and they be coming on these panels try to be so intelligent, but they sitting up here in America where Africa actually needs help. It really needs help. If you really felt that way, the way that you talking, if you felt that way, if you wanted us to believe you, you would be in Africa helping people. Melanated people been all over this land. They say life started in Africa. Well, then why we got the oldest trees? Like, melanated people grow all over this land, all over this planet. The whole world was black first. So I really don't understand what you're saying. But when it comes to delineation and pan-Africanism, what's going to happen is people are going to mimic what black Americans already do. And that would, after you build your country, then we can come together and then we can make unity if it's on some pro-blackness or black unity or melanated unity, because a lot of these melanated people aren't black. So when I see Pan-Africans getting mad at FBAs, it's wild because you see a bunch of melanated people unifying, but you just want to get mad and, oh, you're from Africa. Man, what the bush meat?
And I will try to weave through
Shout
that
out to the
tapestry.
bush meat. Go
So,
ahead,
so,
Sierra.
so again, I'll try to weave through that tapestry of foolishness. I think you should get a book by Walter Rodney. It's called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Very good read, if you do read. But based off your conversation, I doubt it. You know, you're one of those YouTube scholars, and I'm sorry for the personal attack, but I had to take it there. But anyway, Yes, we are Black Americans. We are in America. Nationality, we are Black Americans. However, white tea people formed a phrase called e pluribus unum, out of the many one, that did not include you and I. They were talking about out of the many Europeans and European nations that formed this new country called America, the American identity was formed. You and I were slaves. Another good book you should get called Without Sanctuary. I think you should get another book called 100 Years of Strange Fruiting. It'll let you know your history and your place and your present inside of this system of white tea supremacy, the United States of America.
None of those books mention any African.
Okay. Hold on. All right, thank y'all. Okay, thank you. Asia, how you doing? Welcome back. You want to address the prompt?
Hi. So you need strength of people delineation. I mean, okay. Once again, I've said this a million times on here. Delineation and pan-Africanism do not have to be mutually exclusive. Delineation is about data. There is, when it comes to monoracial Black Americans, I think that, because of many factors, most of them historical, that's really the source of the disparity. And if you focus on making sure that monoracial Black Americans, especially those from, poorer backgrounds, get more resources, then you'll see more growth in the Black community as a whole. That's the foundation. So I fully support that, but that's not mutually exclusive with Pan-Africanism. You can still be pro unity of people of Black descent, whichever. I've given up trying to tell people they're African. I refuse to go down that tunnel or open up any type of bag of worms. But we all know that we're considered Black, regardless if you have theories of you're indigenous to the Americas, or maybe you have a theory that you traveled over here in the before Christ was born or something, and whatever, and you don't consider yourself African anymore. Okay, we could talk about that, but I'm not talking about that right now. The main thing is we're all considered Black. If you got melanin and a wide nose and some lips, some type 4 hair, whether you consider yourself African or not, you are considered Black. So that's the crisis right now, right? Everyone is trying to mistreat us because of how we look, not because of our intellect or whatever. I mean, not that would be valid anyway, but they look at us and they hate us. They don't like us, right? So what are we gonna do? We can fight with each other like the South Africans are doing, bowing down to the Boers. But when they see an African that's trying to figure out something, attack them, or we can figure out a strategy together. That's where I'm at right now. And yeah, I just feel like anything else is just a distraction. It feels like misguided attempts at trying to feel important. It feels like, lack of racial self-esteem. So yeah, we need to do better.
I have a rebuttal.
I have a rebuttal as well.
Okay, let her land her plane. You land your plane, Asia?
Yeah, done.
All right. Greg, you can go first.
I'll be a gentleman, ladies first.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Okay, so firstly, Aisha, I'd just like to say that it's very disrespectful and just speaks to the alignment that Black immigrant communities have with white supremacy without even probably many times realizing it. This idea that Black Americans just need more access to resources and then we'll just be all right, that's not true. That Black Americans have resources. Black Americans, unlike what a lot of immigrants think, Black Americans are not the bottom of the barrel. Black Americans have one of the biggest spending powers in the world, right? We're not the bottom of the barrel. We have access to resources. We are successful in our different fields. We have good economic resources, okay? So that's not the only issue that we're facing. You are ignoring the fact that we are facing erasure from people who should have come here and aligned themselves with us and united with us and given us respect for opening a space to them that would otherwise not be open to them, right? There's a lot of other forms of harm that we are facing that are coming directly from Black immigrant communities, and even regarding South Africa. If you speak to South Africans, they're okay with what's happening in South Africa. I don't condone violence, physical violence, but they are tired of erasure. They're tired of people utilizing their resources, not even utilizing them, exploiting them, which is what is happening in Black American communities in the United States as well. So it's very disingenuous for you to just come and say, oh, if you just have more resources, then you'll be all right and there'll be no problems and we need to unify. No, immigrant communities have already delineated. Black Americans would not be smart to, at this point, after how many 40, 50 years of them telling you they don't even like you, to now saying we are you, to you now saying, okay, we can be friends now. They don't want to, no, delineation. And we have resources. Thank you. That's it. I land.
Okay.
Lady.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. You get the
Can I
final
rebut,
say.
friend?
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, so just to be brief, this is not about trying to crap on Black Americans and say, oh, y'all don't got nothing. The point is the Black condition all across the globe is that we are lacking resources. So it's all Black people, all people that are considered Black. Now, when it comes to delineation in America specifically, isn't the point of delineation to a safeguard of resources? Not saying that Black Americans don't have anything, but saying that a good, if you don't want to say majority, because I don't have stats right in front of me to say majority, so I won't say that, but a good portion of Black Americans still need some type of help or still need some type of access so that they can achieve social mobility. There's still many people who are uneducated. There's still many people who, don't have a good savings, net worth is way below white Americans. So that the disparity there is what needs. I just want to close out. I thought that was the point of delineation. I've heard that talking point so many times, but now you're, because I guess your ego, you want to say that we have all the resources in the world, blah, blah, blah. It
didn't
doesn't
say
make
that.
sense.
Just to
It
be
makes
clear, I didn't
zero
say
sense.
that.
You're
Hey, you
being
gotta land your
incoherent.
plane. You gotta land your plane.
Okay, go ahead, Greg.
To the young lady, first and foremost, we've been battling white supremacy for as long as we've been on these shores. That's number one. So for you to tell us how to do that is almost asinine and laughable. Number two, it's not wrong for Black people to look inward to ourselves to give us a name, because we're tired of the 20 names that was given by white supremacists. Sister, again, a lot of you come over here with a lack of history, a lack of understanding, a lack of anything that can relate to our people, our struggle, and what we do. And this is why you guys fail to understand and really get along and get in line with what's going on in this country. And that's the problem with a lot of you. You don't align yourselves with what's going on here. You still keep and hold the truths and values of where you come from, and that interferes with what we're doing. So you got to understand your history and who you're talking to, because you lack history. A lot of you do. I land my plane.
Okay, go ahead, Asia.
I mean, once again, Sarah said as much in the comments, but you're claiming I said things that I never said. It feels like you're just reading from a script, and you're responding in a way that, FBA leaders say you're supposed to respond, but you're not really contending with what I actually said. I'm not saying that, there's anyone over Black Americans. I'm not saying that immigrants are better. I already said that the Black condition as a whole right now, due to white supremacy, is, we're not doing well. We're suffering, and that is supposed to bring us in solidarity, not necessarily in a kumbaya moment like, oh, we're all the same. Yeah, no, but not to use Europeans as a model, they have solidarity when it comes to domination of the globe. They don't like each other, but they have solidarity for that common goal. For liberation and self-determination as a global race, we're supposed to come together in that sense. We can have some infighting, we're not perfect, but to say that we despise each other, that is
Can I ask
crazy.
you a question? Do you think that Black Americans have a unique and special relationship with this country, and there are particular issues that are fundamentally Black American and has nothing to do with African immigrants and or Caribbean immigrants and or anyone of the diaspora with pigment? Can you agree to that?
Just because of nationality.
Okay.
Yes.
So delineation and disaggregation in a political sense is to get to the direct and raw numbers to see how we can admit policies and programs that we should get specifically for Black Americans to handle those unique and special situations that we have. Do you have a problem with that as a person who immigrated here?
No, absolutely not. And I said as much. I said that delineation is about data, is about making sure that Black Americans get what they deserve from this country, is about the reparations and
Right
all that.
there.
So I
Stop
completely
right
agree with
there.
you.
Stop right there. Okay. So when FBA come on here and make that clear, very clear that that's what it's about, then why
Hmm.
are you guys making it more about what's being said by the lesser percent of us and not focus on what's being said by the majority of us? And if you agree to all those issues,
Hmm.
then why is there a problem with delineation?
There's no problem with delineation. I think people who are pan-Africanists are responding to what they think are dog whistles, because many times you all say it's not about this, it's not about that, it's about us getting what we owe, but then you say things like tether babble and bushmeat stuff, and you say all these insults, and it just takes away from your main agenda. So if you are very much neutral in that sense and just more so amplifying your goals, then people won't think that you're using dog whistles by saying delineation. People will just respect you for what you are actually doing. That's my point of view.
Here's the issue that when we're doing this and we're saying this, why should there be an immigrant interfering with us handling our business, which we're doing right now? And that seems to be the problem when we're asking you, hey, it's not to say that we dislike you. It's not to say that we don't agree with you on certain issues and aspects of where this country is going. But there's particular issues that Black Americans have to tackle as Black Americans, only for Black Americans. And y'all seem to be interfering in those conversations. And then when people call you a tether, it's because you are tethering to issues that don't belong to you, you're not a part of, and you shouldn't be a part of, respectfully.
Can I just say something very, very quickly? I feel like this conversation has been very nice and docile and way too like handling with kitty gloves. As a bi-ethnic person, the reality of this conversation is that Black immigrants were not caring about unity and respect and acknowledgement and community when the resources were open and they looked like they would never run out. When they had free access to this country, they could work as much as they want, send whatever they want away, live here, bring their family here, have their children here. There was no talk of this, oh, we're one. Now that that's being threatened because Black Americans are saying, no, something is wrong here, we need to delineate. We need to hold our own space and protect it and have boundaries with these people. Now there's the gaslighting of, oh, we all need to be together and I'm just saying we're all Black. That's not real. Like, it's gaslighting. This conversation is not even a real conversation. It's just not. I just wanted to say
you
that.
you haven't lived long enough on this earth. I can tell you're young. You haven't lived long enough on this earth to really say that verbatim, that now is the time. First of
Babes,
all,
I've been here for decades and decades and decades. Yes, I have. And
you have
I
not
am
been here for
I
decades
told
and
you
decades and
that I'm
decades.
bi-ethnic. I've been watching the community spew vitriol for decades, right? About how much they
No.
can't stand Black Americans, how they got no food, they got no culture. Oh, here comes one of these Yankees and all this and that for decades. And now it's, oh, we're all Black and we're facing threat. No, you're
No.
facing the threat of not having
What the
access to
young
the
lady
resources
is
that you
forgetting,
wanted.
what the young lady's forgetting is she doesn't know who she's talking to, because I'm old enough to know before y'all got in here in mass, while y'all was here, there was no talk, like the sister said, oh, I'm not Black. And you know why they didn't associate with the term Black, sister? I want your answer. Do you know why they didn't associate with the term Black?
This
So,
Africans saying that they're not
Hold
Black
on.
is
You
Can
open the
I
door.
answer,
I
please?
play the
Can I
lawyer
answer,
game
please?
very well. You open the door to say age is something that you have over that young lady. So I'm gonna ask you
well,
a question.
Craig, I
Are you
think we're
gonna let
about
me
to.
answer?
Hold
I
on,
think we're
brother.
about the
Hold
same
on,
age.
brother. Hold on, brother. But you know this to be a fact. Do you know why they did not use the term Black back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s? Do you know why?
That's 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 not true. I think that's a new age
That
immigrant
is
thing.
very true,
I've never
sister.
heard that. Growing
That's
up here,
very true.
my parents,
Again, your
my parent.
age
Wait, hold on.
shows
Let me
right
speak.
there. Hold
Let
on.
me
No,
speak
no,
to
no.
my
No, no,
lived
no.
experience
No, no,
because you're
no.
not
Let me explain
African.
something to
Let
you.
me speak
Let me
to my
explain
lived
something to
experience.
you,
No,
young
you're not
lady.
gonna explain my
Because
condition
again,
to
no,
me.
I'm gonna
You're not.
explain something to you
Just like
because
you don't
again,
want me to explain your
you're
condition to
spewing
you.
something that did not
I'm not.
happen, and you don't have the knowledge or the experience to know what happened prior to you getting here. Do you understand that, young lady?
How you gonna
Do
tell
are you
her her
clear
lived
on that?
experience?
Hold
She's
on, young
telling you
man.
her lived experience.
Her lived
She's
experience
telling
does
you
not
her
trump
lived.
my lived
You see,
experience, does it? Does it
the,
trump my lived
If my
experience?
Pan
Hold
African
on,
brother,
hold
Wait a
on,
minute.
No, it
hold
Stop
does
coming
not.
on,
off your
everybody.
No,
mic.
it does
Hold
not.
on, everybody. We're gonna
No, it
put
does
some
not.
time on it because obviously y'all can't just have a conversation. Go ahead, Greg. Well,
Because
hold
we're talking age and experience, and
hold
this
you
is
asking
what
on.
I
a
have
question or
over
you
that
making a
young lady.
comment, brother?
If
Wait a
it's
Age
minute.
and
Stop
hold
coming off.
on, if
He
it's
keeps coming off his mic.
I know.
talking. What do you mean? I'm having a
Ain't
conversation.
She
probably
talking
when
for
the
like
FBA
7
come
minutes,
off
brother.
theirs.
Hey,
No.
yo,
Africa
bro. I
After
reality.
wasn't talking
Wait
to
a
you.
minute. Go ahead, Greg.
Now, I'm gonna ask you again. Were you alive in the '90s as an adult? No, you weren't. So therefore, you don't know what I know. You weren't there, so you
Where are you
didn't
even
hear.
from? Where are
Where
you
am I
from?
from doesn't matter where I'm
It does
from.
matter
Trust me,
because
I'm
if
from
you're
where a lot of them are from. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Connecticut. So you can't tell me what it is. I know what it is. I lived amongst them.
we're
So
not
that's
in
where I trump a
Connecticut like
lot.
that.
Hold on. That's where I trump you. That's where I trump you. Right? My experience and my lifelong lessons that I've learned and lived is much more experienced than yours. You're probably about 30 something. That means I lived 20 years longer than you have. When you were born, they weren't calling themselves black. And here's why. Because it was associated with chattel American slavery. They did not want to be associated with that degrading situation in this country. So they made a separation. They did not include themselves. They had their own social clubs. They had their own clubs. They had their own meeting places. They had their own parades. What are y'all talking about? Y'all didn't live nothing like that. All of you are probably under the age of 30, except for the brother up here. So don't you dare tell me what it wasn't when I know what it was. You better go look at some of these old films, some of these old videos when they talk about these people. They say it, but y'all deny it. You don't have history. And I'll repeat that. And to the brother, we do acknowledge our African ancestry. But at some point, we stop being African. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we have to acknowledge that.
Okay, thank you, Greg.
I
Go
land my
ahead.
plane.
Thank
You
you,
better
Greg.
read a book
Go
dealing
ahead,
with
Greg.
me, sister.
All right, thank you, Greg. Go ahead, Sierra.
Do we have a
Okay. Okay.
Hold
So
on, I
it's
just want to let Sierra respond. It ain't even Greg's turn, it's Asia's turn. Hold on.
well, it's interesting to me, dear brother Greg, like yourself, I come up from that Malcolm X generation where Malcolm X clearly always talked about being African. He talked about how we say, well, I ain't leave nothing in Africa. You left your whole damn mind in Africa. It seems like it. Again, I like to put everything in context. As a matter of fact, being in school, they used to tell you read for the context clues. So you talk about this situation without context. You're not even mentioning Henry Kissinger and what he said about severing any ties between Black Americans and Africa. He didn't want us to be concerned about international issues. Leave that for the big boys, the white tees. You Negroes focus on civil rights and other rights that they give you. That's what you focused on. Then you talk about the Africans, not saying they were Black. They always knew that they were Black. Always. Again, context is key. We're talking about a group that came here after the movies, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, and all that type of stuff was being sent around the world as representation of what Black is. That's why it was the pushback for them to delineate, because America has a stranglehold on the image that she puts out on Black Americans.
Can I say something? But Ciara,
So,
he
like,
didn't
where
see, he didn't,
Michael
wait a minute.
Jackson,
See,
Michael
hold on.
Jordan, all these greats wasn't broadcasted over there? Why do you think they're over
I mean,
here? Because they
He
seen
didn't.
those great people over
Greg,
here.
let the
Come
sister
on,
speak.
brother.
She probably finna say something.
What I was gonna say was,
Let
I
the sister.
think that I was gonna say, Ciara, he didn't say that they weren't melanated. That's not what he said. He said that they didn't identify themselves as Black. That's what he said.
And
He
he's
said that
wrong.
they called them. Wait a minute. He said that they called themselves African. That is the truth.
I want to add. He also said that Black people don't want to call themselves Black natives or Black aboriginals. So, far as you
Say
being a
that
Pan
at,
African,
brother.
you're gonna take.
Where did I say that at?
I don't think it's your turn, Supreme.
My bad.
Loves, did you get to Supreme?
I apologize.
You
No,
okay?
we next. All right, so we're gonna go ahead so we can get to Supreme actually. Asia, thank you. We're gonna land your plane. I think you probably got to send them it. Supreme, how you doing?
Bless, bless, bless.
You wanna
I
address the
apologize for
prompt?
jumping in.
It's okay, you wanna
Yeah.
address the
So
prompt?
yeah. So like, what I'm saying is, a lot of people think that delineation is, they just put it like it's separation. It's boundaries. So when it comes to Black American, we basically just used to we was all on this pro-Black, anything melanated is ours, and this unity. But then when we start researching and studying, like, oh, they not even unified in their own country. Just like you got Pan-Africans that's over here in America preaching this Black unity, understanding that there's so much tribalism going on in Africa. Any way that you need to build Black unity, you need to do it in small portions. So like I'm saying, here in America, if we unify, why would a Pan-African have a problem with that if they believe in Black unification when they've never seen it this big? So it be shaking me. But I understand, because it's an ideology to the point where we all from Africa. How you all from Africa, but you're not in Africa? You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the things I stand on with the Pan-African. You can read as much books you want. Then y'all want to bring up Malcolm X. Malcolm X told all melanated people that they were Aborigines, black natives. Whether it's on this plane of North America, whether it's in Africa, wherever it is, the whole world was melanated first. So when you be a melanated person telling another melanated person that they're not indigenous or aboriginal or something like that, I mean, you look like one of the house grows. You know what I'm saying? That's how you kind of look when you start saying that, understanding that we are connected to the land, we're connected to the trees, we're connected to everything. You know what I'm saying? So when we're connected to everything, you should understand that we grew everywhere. So if you're gonna tell me something that was basically manipulated into a whole new race that was before me here on this planet of Earth, then yeah, you're not on code. You're not on code at all. And we see it when it comes to other melanated immigrants. They would like to literally come up to us and be like, "No, nigga, you are this." But don't do that to the Chinese melanated people. The Negritos, don't do that to nobody. We're supposed to be all over the planet, right? We're connected to this chlorophyll. What are you talking about? So, I mean, the brother was talking about all the books that he read, but none of his books made any sense because, I don't know, you want to have accolades, but what you're saying doesn't make sense. For us to grow, we need to all delineate and come together. That's it.
All right. Anybody
I got a rebuttal.
Go ahead, Sierra.
I'm sorry, I got a bad habit of reading. I'm sorry, I have a bad habit of researching. I'm sorry, I got a bad habit of wanting to know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. I just don't regurgitate stuff that I see on a podcast. I'm sorry if I do research, if that bothers you. Again, you said a lot of stuff that I have to attempt to weave my way through that tapestry of misinformation. First of all, Malcolm X never said what you attributed to him. And as far as us being, he spoke about us being original people, yes. But he never talked about us being in the Americas prior to the transatlantic slave trade. That is something that you are making up, sir. And again, I'll be more than happy to avail myself of any research that you want to give to me. edus.orgs, please give them to me.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Supreme. Final say.
Yeah, brother. I seen the stuttering and the shaking in your voice. My brother, I've been to, I met Louis Farrakhan and his damn wife. Nigga, I was with the junior FOI. We all know that Malcolm X was talking about the Asiatic black man. But I guess you want to talk about you reading. We talking about reading, nigga. Spiritually reading, studying, for real. Studying reality, bringing shit together, bro. We talking about real intelligence. Not reading some book and you think you're supposed to get somewhere. You read all the books. You read all the information and then you come to the truth. So I don't really understand what you talking about because you ain't really say shit. Nigga, Malcolm X.
All right, TikTok and YouTube friendly language, please.
I apologize because I said N-word. I apologize. But yeah, you said you didn't say nothing just now, bro. He said that. If you want to put money on it, we can. He said we are Aborigines. That's what he said. He said all melanated people are Aborigines, which shows that all Aborigines are the melanated people. Like, I wouldn't put no damn Mongoloid in front of being, I'm going to tell a Mongoloid they Aboriginal.
Okay,
Man, that's anti-black.
land your plane.
What's going on?
Land your plane. Thank you.
All right.
JT, hey.
Right there, sis.
Okay, thank you, Supreme. JT.
What's up, sis? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. You want to address the prompt?
Yes, ma'am, I should do. Pan-Africanism versus delineation. Two visions, one future. Pan-Africanism is not even relevant, to be honest with you, in 2026. It's not practical. There's not one African demographic that comes over here and embraces Pan-Africanism here or on the continent of Africa. Now, Pan-Africans will tell you something different, but we all know and we see for ourselves that that's the reality. Right now, all over this app and other social media sites, we see that South Africans are booting Nigerians out of South Africa.
JT, we gonna come back to JT. Greg Nice, you wanna go?
Can you hear me, sis? Did I
Oh,
go
yeah.
out?
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Yeah.
JT.
So we seen the same thing a couple of months ago when the Ghanaians were booting the Nigerians out of Ghana. The reality is that Africa is the most divided continent on the planet, and it's been like that for centuries. Right now, Pan-Africans will never address that. They'll pretend like that's not the truth. But if you ask any African man, call an Igbo man a Yoruba and see what he tell you. Call a Nigerian a Ghanaian or a South African Senegalese and see what they tell you. This whole ideology made sense back during civil rights when it didn't matter who you were. If you showed up here as a melanated person, you were considered black. But now that we have an influx of immigrants coming over here to this country, they're going to bring their cultures with them. They're going to bring that tribalism and that xenophobia with them. People forget that there was a G-side in the 90s with the Hutu and the Tutsis. Y'all remember that? That's called tribalism and xenophobia, right? But when we talk about the realities of the situation, people don't want to address that. They want to keep this whole idea of unity up when in reality there is no unity, y'all. We can love each other and embrace each other's culture, but we are separate people. We have our own history, heritage, lineage, and culture that's separate from Africa. People want us to be generic Africans from kingdoms that don't even exist no more. We have elders older than Nigeria and Ghana and many other African countries. You see what I'm saying? It's not practical. We're not being intelligent people. We are Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. Our ancestors are the foundation of this country. We built it. That's something to be proud of. That's something to embrace in the same way that South African is going to embrace their culture and be proud of it. We as Black Americans, we don't step on nobody's culture. If you're Jamaican, you come over here, you have your Jamaican or your carnival. We're going to go out there. We're going to celebrate with you. We're going to embrace your culture. We're going to give you a shout out. It's only since Black Americans have started to be self-determined about who we are as a people that Pan-Africans in general and tethers have a problem with that. And we don't care. It's happening. I mean, if we think about who the leading scholar, the most requested scholar, the figurehead of Pan-Africanism is Dr. Umar Johnson. This man has been scamming Black Americans for 25 years. So, the reality is this, and I'm a land. Pan-Africanism is basically a bunch of old dudes on the corner talking about what real Pan-Africans did back during civil rights. That's the reality of it, because there is no Pan-Africanism in the Black American community. We haven't seen it. You have no tangibles to boast of. You've done nothing for us as Black Americans in 40, 50, 60 years. I'm sorry. That's the reality of it. FBA is here. We ain't going nowhere.
All right, shout out to that. Thanks, JT. Anybody have a rebuttal?
I think everybody on the panel at this point is FBA, so I will rebuttal what he said.
Okay, go ahead, Sierra.
Okay. Everything you just said, absolutely, to me, it didn't make any sense. Because you did this dance around what Pan-Africanism really is. I was born in the United States. My parents, their parents, and their parents' parents. I came here vis-a-vis the transatlantic slave trade. Been here for hundreds of years. I have no problem with any other Black person, let's just say from a country called Nigeria, and that name came out of the carving up of Africa, as you know, from the Berlin Conference. Now, you mentioned the Congo and what took place. That actually has its roots in what the Belgium government, or prior to that, King Leopold did in the Congo. A direct result of that conflict. Now, you talk about tribalism as it exists in Africa. Well, we got tribalism in the United States. You already know that. And this is a problem that exists in our people across the globe, something that we have to fix. But JT, this foundational Black American thing that you all have going on, it borderlines insanity, in my opinion.
I never mentioned the Congo, first of all. Secondly, there is no tribalism in Black America. We had a G, a lot of I don't really want to say the term, but we had people who were Brips and Bloods back in the day in the 90s. That was prevalent then. We don't see that anymore, and that was 1 to 2% of our population. You're trying to equate that to 1.8 billion Africans on the continent. You're trying to equate that to what took place in Rwanda in the 90s. That's not even like, I mean, how you can make a comparison like that is insane. And when we look at 2026, we don't see the same level of G activity that we see in the 90s, not even close. But when I talk about things that have been taking place for centuries in Africa, you want to say, well, no, let's not talk about Africa, let's talk about America, rather than dealing with the xenophobia and tribalism that we're seeing in real time today in 2026. We're not seeing G violence and G wars on social media, on TikTok.
Okay, land your plane, JT.
Well, yes, ma'am. What we are seeing, though, is tribalism and xenophobia on this app right now. Why not address the things that's most relevant to us today and deal with those things? Y'all don't want to do that. You never want to have that conversation, and still, Nigerians in particular are being kicked out of more than 14 countries right now. But you want to blame us for stuff that we was doing in the 90s. It's insane, bro. That's why nobody really respects Pan-Africans now. It's a dying concept, and we need to go ahead and put a fork into you because it's over with, bro.
All right, hey, shout out to that, Greg. You want to address the prompt? And we're gonna be wrapping up. We're gonna do our final saves. It's another little final save segment gonna be coming after this. Go ahead, Greg. You want to address the prompt?
Yeah, sure. Good evening.
Good evening.
Panel. You closing a little up shop a little early today, but
I'm tired. This like 8, 9 days in a row.
I get it though. Pan Africanism versus delineation. Two visions, one future. Well, it's an old vision. It's analog at this point. I was one of the biggest Pan Africans back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be honest. The true purveyors of Pan Africanism were Black Americans. We were the only ones out there trying to help out, trying to share, trying to do everything. We were the ones pushing Pan Africanism, if you ask me. No African came over here with any type of Pan African ideology. It had to be infused in them when they were here. Outside of the Caribbean, and I give the Caribbean credit on that aspect. They understood it, but it should not be uh, an ideology for us at this point in time. We have new information at this point in time that should well advance our thinking, and we haven't seen Pan-Africanism shown from the other side of the pond. To be honest, what have they done? They haven't done anything for us. Where's our citizenship? The average Black American couldn't afford it, but we're brothers and sisters. Where was the aid when we were getting unalive for the grassroots? They didn't send it. So where's the opportunity for the average Black man and a Black woman to invest? They haven't shown it, and neither have the Black Americans who who believe in this doctrine now. It's to this point where Pan-Africanism is a religion for some of y'all, and it's failing, and it's failed, and it's time for you guys to upgrade. It's time for you guys to think anew. Stop being old stubborn stones and wake up to what's going on. The young people have the movement now, and they see what it is, and they're not playing. And if you old stones are gonna get left behind, that's where you'll be. Heavy in one place. No movement. I land my plane.
Thank you.
Again,
Yeah,
sis, I
go
think I'm
ahead.
the only one on the panel that disagrees, so I'll go.
Oh, okay.
You talk about what has Africa done. Again, I'm going to keep putting research material out there for you people who refuse to read. Walter Rodney wrote a good book called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. You should read it. And I'm also going to put some more stuff like that I kept repeating. Henry Kissinger and the United States Secretary, he was the Secretary of State, and the United States objectives from keeping Black America with any type of political interest or geopolitical interest in Africa, what's happening in Africa. Just like the United States with its war with smugs in the Black community, oh yeah, they are exacerbating tensions between Black America and Black Africa. I mean, you want to talk without context. Muammar Gaddafi tried to give $1 billion in aid to a Black organization. The United States government blocked that. I mean, talk like you have some sense, please.
Okay? So you're talking about Libya, and you're talking about the nation. That's fine. That's dandy. But that's one example. You didn't speak on the fact that there's average Black Americans. There's 45 million average Black Americans. We're not all celebrities. They do that to promote what? To promote their country, right? That's Pan-Africanism. Again, to sell us something. They sell us a trauma castle. And we go in there and give millions of dollars to a trauma castle, reliving our trauma. But that's Pan-Africanism. That's blood money, brother. Blood money. But that's too deep for a lot of y'all. Y'all don't understand it. That's fucking blood money. Excuse my language. We love TikTok shop. And you didn't come and state not one thing about what Africa is trying to do to help us with with our economic struggles. You haven't pointed out where we can invest.
Okay, y'all, we about to
Make
do our
dream out
final
living,
statement.
man. And we're not living in it no more. It is 2026, not 1996. That shit is done, bro. And I'm one who practiced Pan-Africanism will tell you it's over, brother. It's
So
a
All
you
right.
one of those. So you one of those who
already
can't be
thought
trusted to
process.
stand firm on their position. Then
So
you're
if we
flip
go
flop.
into your time, just go with your time. But I'm about to set something up. Y'all can keep talking.
Brother.
All right, so I'm gonna. So since she's finna wrap it up, I'll just land my plane on this. For one, okay, she's finna do Showtime.
So I just want to say in closing, Black American people, enough is enough. You know, so many, and I'm speaking collectively, not individually, so many Black immigrants come to this country and they are resentful of the fact that they have to come here to our land to get resources, to better themselves, to get access to the things that they need and that they want. They already had it in their heads that we were less than them. And they imposed that on us for a very long time. It's time to wake up. We cannot back down now. The gaslighting should have no effect on the resolve that we must delineate, because we are the opposite of everything they tried to make us believe we are.
I'm absolutely convinced that a lot of FBA are actually working with the feds at this point. They refuse to listen to reason. They refuse to listen to reason. I'm presenting all these actual facts about how this government destabilizes Africa. I'm presenting evidence. Matter of fact, it's a good book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins, talking about how this United States is going into Africa and unaliving presidents. The International Criminal Court was set up to punish African leaders who will use their resources for their own people and then turn around and call them dictators. Have we forgotten the case of Patrice Lumumba? Have we forgotten? We act like this government is so benevolent when we know that the resources of Africa is going to keep these people as superpowers in the 21st century. So it's all about destabilizing Africa and African peoples.
Right. It's all about stabilizing melanated people. When you're American, you see the white tea supremacy within those melanated people. That's something that we go out and we have our jobs and everything, and we see that shit. Like you can tell us about all these books that you want, but when I go to the hospital, I see how the Haitians or the Africans delineate. They don't look at us the same, and that's just the truth of the matter. But you're a prime example of, and it's cool though, because we're gonna show the heart of a Black American. That's why I respect you, because we stand hard when it comes to melanated people. We don't want to give that up, and that's what you're fighting against. But to elevate our people, you will have to take that veil off of your eye, brother. And I appreciate you for standing on it, because that's what we believe too, bro. But we're the only people doing it. All these other people doing it, no. No matter what immigrant, they gonna always stand on with their people. So that's what it is.
Bro out here telling us about what's going on in Africa. Africa has 1.8 billion people. Rather than Africa standing on their square and saying, stop taking from Africa, we gonna share some blood in this soil to keep it that way. You got Africans fleeing all over the planet to eat off what others have built instead of building up on that. These people are literally walking around on gold and diamonds and cobalt. But we're supposed to have sympathy for these people. And yet we have to suffer through 500 years of grape, murder, and enslavement here on this land. And they coming and eating off of what we fought for. No, Pan-Africanism, you can keep it, bro. We Black Americans, we're proud people. We're going to stand 10 toes down, and we're not going to let anybody take anything more from us. And that includes Africans. So if Africans want to if you want to have this Pan-African unity, that's fine. Do it in Africa, bro.
Yo, first and foremost, it's laughable that, some people just hold on to an archaic thought process when they see the future is before them. The light is at the end of the tunnel, and delineation is where it is. The young people have spoken. It is their time. It's either fall in line or get out of line. If you continue to mess around with this foolishness called pan-Africanism, it's only going to leave you with nothing in your hand and a whole lot of bammy in your gut. That's all it's going to leave you with. Some kente cloth and some cool recipes. Okay, whatever. But Black American, FBA, foundational Black American, is where it's going to be. It's here, whether you like it or not, believe it or not. Start believing in your own. We have unique and great accomplishments as a people, and it shouldn't be stepped on, and it shouldn't be usurped, and it should be protected.
And,
And that's all.
and loves, I want to say one thing. You can't help nobody over the planet if you can't help yourself first. So yeah, just going with your ideology, you gotta help yourself first, bro. I don't like. I gotta help my house before I help anybody. I can't help nobody if I don't help myself. So that's why Pan Africanism is wild. Like I'm in America, but I'm rooting. You doing this Pan African stuff? Like it don't make sense. Help your home, and then they'll catch on, and then you have enough strength to help the other people, the other melanated people all over the planet, whether it be the Africans, all over this world. We
Okay.
own this world. We the
All right.
first. But
All right.
I'll
Land your
stop. I
plane.
apologize.
No, it's all good. Super. I'm just super. You know, it's about that time for me to go and lay it down. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my mods. Y'all amazing. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for gifting the panels. Thanks for all the people who followed me and the panelists. And the panelists, thank y'all for y'all their gifts as well. All right. So see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.
Night, everybody.
Good night. 3.